morning, sports fans. Tonight, we've got the latest from the NBA, including news on some injured superstars, plus updates from the quarterfinals of the PBL All-Filipino Conference.
And a huge development concerning the Olympic Games in 2028. Boxing will be part of the lineup in Los Angeles.
Finally, we'll tell you more about it on the show. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Latuncala.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Puts it on. Unbelievable. On the left side. Oh, the pass! Stopping another one. Bacunas rejecting Estebo for the
No Nikola Jokic, no Jamal Murray, no problem for the Denver Nuggets. Well, at least in their match against the surging Golden State Warriors. Final score here, 114-105, with the Nugs ending the Dubs' win streak at 7 games. That man, Aaron Gordon, coming up big in the absence of Denver's top duo due to injuries. Gordon played center and scored a season-high 38 points. Michael Porter Jr. posted 25 markers, grabbed 10 boards, and dished out 5 assists. Triple-double kick, Russell Westbrook stepped up as well, recording 12 buckets, as many rebounds, and 16 dimes. Jimmy Butler tried to spark the Dubs, though, with his team-high 23 markers, but to no avail. This is only the second time Golden State has lost when Butler plays. All in all, they stay at the 6th spot in the West with 39 wins and 29 losses. The Nuggets, meanwhile, number 3 in the conference with 44 victories and 25 defeats. After the game, Westbrook and Denver head coach Mike Malone shared their thoughts on Denver's collective effort.
Compete. Let's go out and give the best we can, and we got a group that can compete with anybody any night if we compete and play hard, and we did that tonight.
Another triple-double for you, 16 assists. What was working for you as a facilitator out there?
Just doing a good job of trying to get guys involved. Had some costly turnovers late in the game, but my teammates picked me up, which was good. So.
The three-point defense, I believe you held them to 24% from deep. Describe the execution and discipline that requires with that team.
Physicality, they're a good team. Obviously, they got a lot of great shooters, so we did a good job of making them play our game. I thought we did a good job of that.
I noticed you during huddles. You were playing with a lot of young players tonight. How did you lead in this game?
Just by talking, by my example, by making sure they understand, instilling confidence in those guys. They work their butts off to get opportunity like tonight. Spencer, Hunter, all those guys did a great job of coming in and playing well. So.
Outstanding. Couldn't be more proud of a group. Tough loss the other night to Washington to close out a 5-game in 7 nights. And we know you're coming on a really tough 4-game road trip, and then you're without 3 starters. And all I asked of our guys going into it, I said, just compete. Have each other's backs, just compete. And did they do that at such a high level? And to hold that team to, really 7 of 32 from the 3-point line, I thought a 3-point defense was huge. Our guys bought into the game plan, went out there and executed at a very high level. Russ triple-double, AG 38. Michael 21 and 10, but then you got guys like Hunter Tyson, Spencer Jones, who flew here today, go out there and contribute to beat a team on their home court that's been playing better than anybody. And I thought Peyton Watson's defense was just outstanding. So.
The Indiana Pacers likewise overcame the absence of big names in their lineup to snap the Minnesota Timberwolves' own win streak at 8 games. The Pacers were without Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, and Aaron Nesmith due to injuries, as well as Pascal Siakam, who was attending to personal matters. Benedict Mathurin also fouled out, and Andrew Nembhard was ejected, along with T-Wolves center Rudy Gobert for an altercation over a hard foul. Despite all that, Indy still got the job done in overtime, 132-130. That's all thanks to Obi Toppin, who scored a season-high 34 points, including 7 triples. And 3 of those long bombs came in OT, highlighted by the game winner, which Toppin drained with 4.6 seconds left. A special mention as well to TJ McConnell for making the game-tying layup in regulation that forced the 5-minute extension. Anthony Edwards poured in a game-high 38 markers in a losing cause for the Wolves. Minnesota settles for 7th place in the West with 40 wins and 30 losses. Indiana remains 5th in the East with 38 victories and 29 defeats. And here's what Topman had to say after his heroic performance.
Man, I don't know. We just all did our today. We all went out there.
Ask TJ what he thinks.
Yeah, baby. Good job, Nah, we all just went out there, did our job, and got this win.
Tell me about some of those shots in the fourth quarter, because despite forcing overtime, you still needed those three-point shots.
Yeah, I just feel like I was in the right place at the right time. Like I always say, we got great guards who always find us for open shots. And TJ, that last shot, TJ just drove baseline, drew so much attention, and it got me that corner shot. So kudos to them. We all put in the work to get this win today.
At the same time, it's one thing to make a shot in the first quarter, but to make it down to in hostile environment for the win, well contested in the corner. I mean, that's sort of everything you dream of.
Yeah, it definitely is. But we work on that, right, Lou? We work on that shot. So it just all come down to the work.
What does this say about this team? Because some of those huddles were very active, very talkative. You had all those guys that were not playing, encouraging, and you had a guy like Quentin Jackson come in and Tony Bradley. I mean, this is one of those that you could not write a storybook like this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you never know what can happen. Anybody can go down. It's next man up. We had some guys sitting out, and everybody on the bench was ready today. Everybody did great and shoot around this morning, and we just came out here and did our job and got the win.
I asked you earlier today if you had the energy to play more minutes, to play that same intensity, the way that you play when you're coming off the bench. You said, no problem, I'm feeling good. Could you go another overtime?
Yeah, for sure. I'm like an energizer bunny. I don't never get tired.
I like the energy from Obi Toppin. Meantime, the struggle continues for the Miami Heat as they bow to the New York Knicks for their 8th straight loss. Despite scoring the first 12 points off the game, the Heat eventually cooled off and lost to the Knicks in a blowout, 116-95. Karl Anthony Towns sparked a second quarter rally, scoring 15 straight points to help the Knicks turn the game around. New York also outscored Miami 41-15 in the third period to go up by 24 entering the fourth. Cat finished with 23 points, while Mikal Bridges had a game-high 28 markers. Josh Hart added a triple-double of 12 points, 13 boards, and 11 dimes. Duncan Robinson top scorer for the Heat with 22 points in a losing effort. The Knicks remain the third seed in the East with 43 wins and 24 losses. The Heat cling to that final play-in spot in the conference with 29 victories and 29 defeats. Here's Miami head coach Eric Spoelstra after taking the first 8-game losing skid of his career.
There's no one that's absolved, from this. I have not come up with enough answers for this team. I have to do a better job. Our group has to do a better job. We have to put our feet into the dirt and hold our ground, at this point. But you always have a choice. It doesn't mean that you're going to win or not. But we have to take strides where we're making progress, and it felt like we were making progress even with some of the losses in the last 3 weeks. We felt like we were making strides. The last 2 games haven't felt like we're making those kind of strides. Is it easy? No. But you have a chance in this league. That's the beauty of this league. You have opportunities to develop your grit, to reveal your competitive character, to collectively develop it together. And you do that through, really tough experiences. And we're going through it right now. And I always feel that there's an opportunity of a better benefit when you can break through.
14 more NBA teams hit the hardwood today.
Here are the results. The Phoenix Suns vent their ire on the Toronto Raptors with a 129-89 blowout. Austin Reeves and the LA Lakers crushed the heavily shorthanded San Antonio Spurs 125-109. The Chicago Bulls rally behind Kobe White's 26 points to beat the Utah Jazz 111-97.
Meanwhile, the Portland Trailblazers ride on Anferny Simons again to cruise past the Washington Wizards 112-97. The Sacramento Kings spoiled Desmond Bane's big night after earning a 132-122 victory. The Detroit Pistons power past the New Orleans Pelicans 127-81. And lastly, the Houston Rockets lean on Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. in their 144-137 overtime win over the Philadelphia 76ers. And speaking of the Sixers, well, they will be without star forward Paul George for the rest of the regular season. Find out why when play-by-play returns only here on One News. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play-by-Play only on One News. Setbacks for both the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Orleans Pelicans in what has already been a difficult season for both teams, to say the least. The Sixers announced that Paul George will be sidelined for the next 6 weeks after receiving injections in his left adductor muscle and left knee. This means PG-13 will miss the rest of the regular season. The 9-time All-Star has struggled all season long, averaging just 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in 41 games. This was far from what the Sixers hoped to get from him when he joined Philadelphia as a free agent this offseason. The Sixers currently 13th in the East with a 23-45 win-loss record. They're 6 games behind the 10th-seeded Miami Heat. As for the Pels, they will lose Trey Murphy III for the season because of a torn labrum and partially torn rotator cuff on his right shoulder. He suffered the injury the Pels lost to the Detroit Pistons earlier today. Murphy had been averaging a career-best 21.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists in 52 games this season. Here's Pels head coach Willie Green talking about the effect of Murphy's injury to his lineup.
I really think and believe that the guys all seeing Trey Murphy go down, it affected us. Now we have to be more mentally tough. We have to be able to step on the floor and continue to go after it. We've had a number of guys go down this year, and I felt it, they felt it. It was like, not again. And I have a level of compassion for that. These guys are human beings first, and they care. They care about their brother. They saw him down. It can strike a bit of fear in some guys, like what's going on. So that's all a part of it, and especially when you have a young team like we do right now. And so now it's really about getting back to it tomorrow, messaging the team, and getting back on the floor and working towards, continue to build some momentum and opportunity for guys.
It looks like Anthony Davis is warming up for a comeback. The Dallas Mavericks have assigned AD to their G League affiliate, the Texas Legends. This is so the 10-time All-Star can get some 5-on-5 work while ramping up his return from a left adductor strain. Davis appeared in just one game with the Mavs since that blockbuster trade that sent him from LA to Dallas mid-season. He had 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in his lone appearance. But he had to leave in the third quarter due to the injury. In 43 games all in all this season, Davis has been averaging 25.7 points, 15.8 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks. Davis is just one of the many Mavs that are currently missing action due to injury. Dallas is holding on to the 10th seed in the West and is just a game ahead of the Phoenix Suns.
All from the hard court, how about some news on the Taraflex here at home? The Creamline Cool Smashers are one win away from returning to the PBL All-Filipino Conference semifinals. The Cool Smashers showed no signs of rust as they swept the Cherry Tigo Crossovers in Game 1 of their best-of-3 quarterfinal series. Final score, 25-10, 27-25, and 25-21. A vintage performance here from the phenom, Eliza Valdez, who had a near triple-double for Creamline. Valdez had 16 points on 64% attacking efficiency. She also had 13 excellent digs and 9 excellent receptions. The victory is sweeter for Cool Smashers head coach Sherwin Meneses. It's his 100th win as a PBL head coach.
Siyempre, kasi tuloy na achieve yung 100, sana mas madami pang panalo na dumating. Especially this season, this conference na madagdagan yung panalo pa. Especially sa mga next games namin. Siyempre, ako naman yung situation na nandyan palagi, yung lagi pinaghahandaan namin. Yung pass kasi medyo nandyan yan, pero nakapokus kami dun sa future tsaka mga next game. Doon lang naman ako nagpo-focus palagi. So hopefully magtuloy-tuloy and mag-improve pa palagi yung team na hinahawakan ko. Mas mababait naman talaga sila. So mga masinuri naman. So ganoon naman talaga. Kailangan yung chemistry ng coaches and players okay.
Coach Sherwin, I'm with Coach Sherwin since Ateneo, other professional teams then. So we've been together for so long. It's just so nice na magkasama pa rin kami na na-achieve ni Coach Sherwin yung mga ganitong milestones. And, this kind of milestones also secured or polished also kung gaano siya katibay or gaano siya ka-effective as a coach. So it's just, I'm just very grateful and blessed to be under his mentorship as well.
Meantime, the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells continue their winning momentum from the play-in tournament. The Thunderbells pulled off a stunning sweep over the Petrogas Angels to start their quarterfinal series, 25-21, 25-23, 27-25. This also ends the Angels' win streak since the preliminaries at 10 games. Mitch Gamit was hailed the player of the game with 10 points built off 6 attacks, 2 blocks, and 2 service aces. Zeus Coffee is now 1 win away from making its first ever semifinal appearance. Coming up, a welcome development for boxers all over the world. The sport will be a part of the next Olympics. The details and more when Play-by-Play returns. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. PBA action resumes tomorrow at the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig for Game 3 of the Commissioner's Cup Finals. Powerhouse teams, the TNT Tropang Giga and Barangay Ginebra San Miguel, are going head-to-head at 7:30 p.m. Ginebra had just evened out the series at 1 apiece after a gritty win in Game 2. Defense was key that game for the Gin Kings, particularly on TNT import Ronde Hollis Jefferson, who was stopped twice in the dying seconds of the match. You can catch tomorrow's game live on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app. Tomorrow is also the final game day of the preliminaries in the 2025 Spikers Turf Open Conference. The Rizal Memorial Coliseum in Manila will be the battleground for 3 exciting matchups. At 1 p.m., the Alpha Insurance Protectors look to keep their semifinal hopes alive and pull off an upset against the Signal HD Spikers. At 3:30 p.m., the unbeaten Criss-Cross King Crunchers will try to complete a prelim sweep as they battle the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. And in the nightcap at 6 p.m., the VNS Lady Creek Griffins seek to secure a spot in the semis as they battle the Savoj Spin Doctors. Don't miss the action live on One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app.
what a treat again. An all-NBA lineup just for you in tonight's highlight reel. Let's start with the Bulls and the Jazz. Bad pass here by Keontae George leads to a break, and what a finish there. What a slam by Dalen Terry. Good pass by Trey Jones on the run, 2-on-1 break against Keontae. Couldn't do anything. Take a look at that. Woo! Sky and Ice. Terry Jones, by the way, had 18 points, 12 assists. Terry had 12 markers off his own. And the Bulls shut down the Jazz here just like the 90s for 90s fans back in the day, like the Jordan, Pippen against Malone, Stockton those days. And what a win for Chicago, 111-97. Okay, up next, we go to the Pelicans and the Pistons. Zion over Beef Stew. Look at that finish, two-handed. He clutches it back. What a finish by Big Z when he's healthy. One of the most athletic, dominant forwards that we have in this generation. Zion Williamson powers through. Unfortunately, though, not enough. He had 30 points, but it doesn't really matter. Didn't really matter as the Pels get blown out by the Pistons here at home, 127-81. Okay, from one high-flying forward to another. How about this Westbrook two-man game? Gordon, woo, over Quentin Post. What you doing, big man? Challenging Aaron Gordon there, face to face. Yes, what a pass. Pocket pass by Westbrook there to Aaron Gordon. No Jamal Murray, no Nikola Jokic, no problem for the Nugs as they win. Gordon had 38 points, filling in for the Joker at the center spot. And the Joker out with an elbow and ankle injury. Nuggets win and beat the Dubs 114-105 in San Francisco. Okay, on to the next one. How about the Wolves and the Pacers? What a game. Ant-Man, spinaroo! Woo! Over Ben Shepherd, take a look at that. And then now you see me, now you don't. Kahit ako nahilo eh. What a move here by Ant-Man to spin and then lays it in. Ant-Man, 38 points, but it was in a losing cause though, as the Wolves, as Cheska mentioned earlier in the news item, lost to the Pacers mainly because of the guy in our final play. Roll it. OB. Good play here. McConnell goes to OB. ISO against Randall. Switch. No. Open for three. Bang! 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 Bank is open using the glass. That's just one. And then again, surveying. Finds OP. A la Tyrese Halliburton. Remember what he did against the Bucks last week? That was what OB did against Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Corner. Take a look at this three. Deep three. Good form. Follow through. Falling down. Bang! Bang, shabang, OB Toppin. 34 big markers for him. And the Pacers beat the Wolves in OT, 132-130 in mini. Check.
And shabang. And before we go, big news, not just for boxing fans, but for Philippine sports in general. Boxing will be a part of the Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 2028. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach announced that the executive board has recommended boxing's inclusion after recognizing World Boxing as the sport's official governing body. This comes after years of uncertainty following the IOC's break with the International Boxing Association due to financial and ethical issues. The decision still requires final approval from the full IOC session later this week, but it is expected to be a formality. Of course, the Philippines has a rich history in Olympic boxing. Just last year, Filipino boxers Nesty Petesio and Ira Villegas brought home bronze medals from the Olympic Games Paris 2024.
Yes, and don't forget, medals by Yumir,
Yes.
Carlo Paalam, Nesty back in the Tokyo
have
Games. So even if
incredible
we go way
boxers in
back,
this. Yep.
Onyok Velasco
Yes.
winning as a silver. So talagang pagdating sa Olympics, kailangan hindi pwede mawala ang boxing. Wag.
Sama kami dun.
So thank you, Thomas Bach, and hopefully
Thank you.
boxing
And of
remains
course,
in the Olympics
thank you
2028.
to Sir Ricky
Yes,
Vargas,
Sir Ricky
Sir
Vargas.
Marcos, everyone who was
Sir
lobbying to
Marcos,
make
yeah.
sure that boxing is still
Oo naman,
included.
yeah,
We had
yeah,
so
yeah.
many representatives.
But we both
Yeah,
know
all
how
over the world, yeah.
it was a long process. They had to fight for
Yes.
it. Talagang
Pinaglaban talaga nila yun.
Yes. And sana nandun tayo sa LA noon pag nandun na yung boxing 2028. 3 years pa. That's all from us tonight, though. Catch us again tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. And we are also available on Signal Play and Filipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.